S-400 missile system. So S-400 missile system, what is this S-400 missile system and how this missile system is really important for us, and what is the difference between the earlier systems and the present S-400 system, and what are the advantages and from where we are bringing these issues we'll try to discuss in the today's class. See, this S-400 missile system is a surface to air defense system. So when I say surface to air defense system, these missiles launched from the surface, and it will hit the target in the air. It will hit the target in the air. And apart from S to A, we are having surface to surface and surface to, air to air. Air to air. So these are the different types of missile system. These are the different type of missile system that are already existing today. Now I want to ask a simple question. In the last 50 or 60 years, India has developed many missiles, but what is the difference between the existing missiles and the S-400 missile system? Until and unless if you understand the importance of S-400, then you cannot really understand S-400 system. See, what are the existing system that we are having today? Suppose, I think maybe you are aware what are the different surface to surface missile systems? Agni series, Prithvi series, Agni series, Prithvi series, Prahari, Dhanush, Sagarika, K4, K5. These are existing surface to surface systems. And when it comes to the Agni system, it is a long range surface to surface missile. When it comes to the Prithvi, it is short range surface to surface. When it comes to Prahari, it is an underground missile system. That means it is launched from the underground. When I say Dhanush, again it's a short range. When I say Sagarika, it's a naval based system. That means from the naval ship, we will hit the surface target. And K4 and K5 are the missiles which we used in the submarines, but still they are surface to surface. So these are the different surface to surface systems. When it comes to surface to air, Akash, Maitri, Trishul. Again, when it comes to the Akash, it's a medium range. When it comes to the Maitri and Trishul, they are short range. These are surface to air. That means they will be launched from the surface and they will hit the target. They will hit the target in the air. Again, we are having another system called air to air system. Air to air. So the available air to air system is Astra. And maybe these things you might aware. So the Astra system is available, Akash is available, Prithvi is available, Maitri is available, Trishul is available. When everything is available, then what is the need of S-400 missile system? That is what you need to understand. Now I'll try to explain the importance of such an S-4 missile system. Later I'll enter into the specifications and related contracts and the sanctions that we may get under this S-400. See, when it comes to the India's defense system, we always, not only we, but every country always believes in a multi-layered protection system. Multi-layer protection system in the sense, we cannot believe only on a particular missile system, or we cannot only believe on a particular type of missile. See, you may get a doubt, sir, why you need a surface to surface, why you need a surface to air, why you need a long range, why you need a short range, why you need a submarine based. These are all you may get, but I'll simply try to explain by a diagram. Just assume this is India and this is our own region. Now, you don't know from where you will get the threat. You don't know from where you will get the threat. You may get it from Pakistan, you may get it from China, you may get it from Indian Ocean, from this side or this side. Anywhere you will get. So first of all, our oceans has to be protected because it's a vast area. Again, in this, the target may come from the surface, the target may come from the air. The target may comes from the surface or target may comes from the air. If it is coming from the surface, that means if another person is coming in a ship and they is trying to attack, then you will use surface to surface missile. Now, why you need a long range and why you need a short range? Suppose the target is here, then you can threaten. Suppose if they are, as long as if they are in their zone, they are not in our zone, you cannot target that particular target. You cannot neutralize it because they are not under our waters, but still you can threaten them. If you cross, then you will get you will be neutralized. So for threatening, we will use it. But again, they are crossing. Then we will, suppose if the target has reached here, then we will try to neutralize that. Suppose if any case, if it is missed, or if suddenly comes in a different underground water and suddenly it appears here. So that means whether if the target is at a shorter range, you have to target it. Whether the target is at the longer range, you have to neutralize this. Whether the target is not in your purview, you have to create the deterrence. You have to create the deterrence. Simply, you cannot say like, so I will design only for the target of, let it be 150 kilometers. As long as they come 150 kilometers, then I will neutralize it. That policy doesn't work. So that is the reason why you need a multi-layer protection system. So you need a protection of at this point, you need a protection at this point, you need a protection at this point. At the same time, in land also, you need a protection at various levels. That is the reason why you need an intercontinental ballistic missile, which is having a range of 5,000 to 10,000 kilometers. If you see the Agni series, it starts from some 500 to 600 kilometers and it ends up to 10,000 kilometers. Why you need? Because you need a multi-layer system. And this multi-layer system of I'm talking only about missiles. But apart from the missiles, you need to have a multi-layer air protection system. You need to have a multi-layer radar system. That means only missiles cannot do. Every time you cannot use a missile because missile create lot of devastation. Missile is not simple like a bomb. No, it cannot. Suppose if there is a warplane is coming, you cannot use the entire missile on a particular warplane because missile has its own huge capacity. But whenever you are targeting a particular warplane or something, then you need a minute quantity of missile system or whatever the exploding system. And sometimes you cannot do it from your border. Sometimes you have to do it from air. So the point you need to understand, in the multi-layer protection system, you need air protection also. That is the reason why we are having the war planes like Sukhoi 30 or some other planes, Tejas, everything. And everything is fitted with some sort of missile system and we are fighting from there. And apart from the air system and naval system and the land system, you need a radar system. Radar in the sense which will identify the target. Suppose if a target is coming closer to you, then this radar will send a signal. So the combination of radars of a different range, the combination of missile systems of a different range, the combination of submarines of a different range, the combination of warplanes of a different range requires for any country. And once you understand the importance of this multi-layer protection system, now if you see our existing surface to air missiles, their range is so short. Maybe we call it as a medium range because there is a difference of classification as far as short, medium and long for both missiles, for both land-based missiles and for both air-based missiles. Suppose if it is a surface to surface missile, if it is a 1,000 kilometers, still we call it as a short range. If it has become 2,500, we will call it as a middle range. But in case of air to air system or in case of surface to air system, it's very difficult to go to the range of 2,500 and 5,000 kilometers. It's very difficult. If it crosses 40 kilometers, then we will call it as a medium range. If it is confined below 30, we will call it as a short range. If it really goes beyond 100 kilometers, then we will call it as a long range. So it's very difficult. So that is the reason why our existing systems are having maximum range of 40 kilometers. maximum range at 40 kilometers. Then what you have to do, if our range is 40 kilometers, then you have to fire that missile from the air by crossing the border. Otherwise you can't. So it is very difficult. And once you understand what happened during this Balakot incident and all, suppose if the enemy is coming with different warplanes, then how you need to tackle that entire system? You cannot tackle with a single air force system or single let it be warplane system. You need a combination, because you don't know from where they are coming, because we are having a border of, let it be 800 kilometers. So you have to place you have to place the different warplane networks in an appropriate distance, and you have to coordinate it. Suppose if the enemy finds that there is a gap between these two systems range, then they can come from that route. Did you understand? Suppose this is having a range up to this is having a range up to this, but if enemy finds out there is a passage, then he can enter it. So if you don't have a proper long range surface to air missile system, it is very difficult to tackle the air targets. When it comes to the surface targets, that's a different story, because we are having all the missile. But suppose if the target is coming through air, and if their range is so high, until and unless you don't have a capability to tackle that, you cannot protect your own territory. So for that purpose, you need a long-range surface-to-air missile system. For that purpose, you need a long-range surface-to-air missile system. In this surface-to-air missile system, my missile system is on the surface, but I am going to hit the target which is in air. Simply, I can say that it is used for the purpose of attacking maybe missiles, maybe warplanes, maybe combating aircrafts or anything. Generally, if missile means it has to come from the air, though they are firing it from this earth, but it has to travel through the air. So that missile system it can tackle, and any warplane and any aircraft vehicle, if they are coming in the air, so this system can tackle. Now, what is the range of this system? The S-400 system's range is 4 to 400 kilometers. 4 to 400 kilometers. That means if you are placing it in the Indian border, this is 400 kilometers. Don't take diameter as 400. Radius is 400. So this entire 400 distance, from wherever the target is coming, it can tackle. That means it is have a power to neutralize. And why you need this system now? Because China has already purchased the S-400 missile system from the Russia, and it has placed, I think it has purchased, I don't know how many they have purchased, but it has placed one system in Ladakh area and one system in Arunachal Pradesh area. And when it comes to the Pakistan has already purchased the F-16 missile system from the United States of America. And there are some discussions whether F-16 is having more capability, or S-400 is more capable, or F-30 is more capable, or S-400 is more capable. These are debates, because it's all completely defense technology. A layman like you and me cannot decide the capability. But Russia believes that their S-400 system can neutralize F-16 and F-30. But America strongly believes that you cannot neutralize my F-30 or F-16. But anyhow, Indian government and Indian defense experts are strongly believed that this is a system which is required for us, and with that we can protect our territory, and it is cheaper. That's what the defense experts are believed. Now this 400 kilometers of range it is going to have. Now what exactly this S-400 missile system is? Suppose normally I'll tell you, when I say a missile system, generally it is having a canister. Canister in the sense it's a tube. And some of them are mountable and some of them are non-mountable. Mountable in the sense you can place it on a vehicle and you can take anywhere, wherever you want. Some of the things you cannot do, you have to place it a particular place, and whenever it requires, you have to fire from there itself. Now it is a mountable. That means it can be taken from one area to another area. Now in this system, normally if you want to fire, you can fire it. And most of our existing systems are only single canister type except Nag and Pinaka. Nag and Pinaka systems are something different in that you can fire a multiple launchers, around 12 launchers you can fire at a time. So that is Nag, and upgradation to Nag is Pinaka. Now in this Pinaka system, we have upgraded and we have increased the range up to 40 kilometers also. These things I think you might have read in defense technology, Nag and Pinaka and upgradation of Pinaka. These things you must know. Now in this system, normally if you see in the newspaper, they will see some tubes here. See here you are having some two battalions, and in each battalion you are having some 8 launchers. In each launcher you are having some 4 tubes. There are different versions of S400. But I can say like this, from this entire explanation I can say you can launch multiple targets at a time from the S400 system, and each and everything is having a range of 400 kilometers, but depending on missile. Suppose if the missile is targeting air targets, then the range can up to 400 kilometers. Suppose if the missile is targeting, because you need a different range of missiles. Simply you cannot say like I can only fire at 400 kilometers. Suppose if it is missed or if you are unaware, then it has to be tackled at 350, it has to be tackled at 300, it has to be tackled at 250. So likewise different range of missiles are there. Now when I say 2 battalions and in 1 battalion 8 launchers and in 1 launcher 8 tubes, that means it comes into around 64. From this 64, and each tube can launch again 4 missiles. That means it can run into around 256 missiles. And we don't know exactly whether the Indian S-400 missile system is capable of launching 256 missiles or not, we don't know. But certainly Indian S-400 system, which we are purchasing from the Russia, is having a capacity of launching the multiple missiles at a particular point of time with a different range. That you need to understand first. Now apart from these launchers, you are having a radar system. See, tell me, what is this radar system? What does it mean, radar system? What do you understand from the radar system? Because Abdul Kalam has designed these radars and missiles. What is this radar? How a radar will work, you know, but you don't know that it is a radar. What exactly the radar means? Okay, radio detector and ranging. That abbreviation is radio detector and ranging. What is the meaning of ranging? Ranging means what? Ranging means finding the distance. How they will find the distance? By radio signals. They will find the distance by radio signals. That means here you will have some antenna and it will send the radio signals, and suppose if there is a target, it will hit and again the signal will come back, and based on the distance and all, they will find the distance. But nowadays there are many missile systems which are stealth in nature. Stealth in the sense it will be coated with a different type of material so that it can absorb all the waves that you are emitting, so that it cannot reflect it and so that they cannot find a distance. But the submarines are using this stealth technology, some of the air missiles are using this technology. But again, even if they are coated with, again they are sending a different type of signal which cannot be sustained by this coating. Likewise, new technologies are, see, they are coating with a different material. These people are coming with a different signal. These people are again coming with a coated signal. But anyhow, this S-400 missile system to some extent is having a capacity of finding the range of any type of missile, and it is having a stealth feature of its own missiles. It can find out the distance of other missiles, and it is having the stealth feature for its own missiles, because its own missiles should not be recognized or identify the enemy's radar system. Now in this radar, the range of radar is 600 kilometers. The range of radar is 600 kilometers. The range of radar is 600 kilometers. That means it can identify the target up to 600 kilometers, but it can start firing only from 400 kilometers. It can only do from 400. That means it can do a surveillance activity and it can also do the firing activity. It can do both surveillance and firing, because the radar will use for the surveillance. And again, in this radar is again a different complex system. You cannot use the same radar for all the distances, because if you use the same radar for all the distances, accuracy comes down. See, if suppose if you have a normal tape, you cannot measure the millimeters. If you want to measure the millimeters, you need a minute scale. And with a normal scale, you cannot measure the distance, the road or railway track distance, because you need a bigger measure. So this radar is not simple. Again, a different complex systems are involved in this radar system for measuring a different targets at a different distance. So this is a very complex system of radar. And again, you are having the multiple launchers to target at a multiple distance. Now, this missile system will identify the target, it will track the target, it will neutralize the target. It will identify, it will track, and it will neutralize. Earlier also we are having a different type of radar come neutralizing systems like Netra or other things are there, but the point is their range is so low. Their range is so low. But here the range is 40 to 400 kilometers. That means it can almost cover the Pakistan, but it may not cover the China. To some extent, Pakistan. It can cover the Pakistan. Now it can neutralize F-16, F-22, Tomahawk, THAAD. These are all United States of America's missile systems. And this THAAD was asked in prelims, I think in the year 2017. At that point of time, when the issue with North Korea is happening, United States of America has placed its THAAD missile system in Korean waters. So it's something like a statement type. You have to choose whether it is a correct statement or wrong statement. The THAAD missile system, the America deployed its missile system in Korean waters is THAAD. Maybe the statement is like that, but the question is on THAAD. Okay, so my point is, see, that is why I always used to say, you need to read the newspaper first. You need to understand the terms mentioned in the newspaper. And if you want to understand the terms mentioned in the newspaper, you need to know the knowledge. Suppose if you don't have any idea of missile system, even if you read THAAD, you can't understand it. Simply you say, okay, it's not, it's America's, so you will ignore it. So that is how you will get the question. But anyhow, with respect to THAAD, it is asked. THAAD is nothing but terminal high altitude area defense. Terminal high altitude area defense. And this S-400 missile system is of Russia's. Actually, prior to this S-400, there is a S-300 system. Now we are having S-400 system, and even Russia is having S-500 system also. It is having S-500. But as far as the development of this S-400 is concerned, the discussions were started in the 1980s. The work has started in the 1990s. The final tests were conducted in around 2001 to 2003. And finally, it has brought into the Russian defense system fully in the year 2007. Why I am giving this timeline means whenever you are dealing with the defense thing, you will always say question, why India should depending on foreign country, why not it can produce its own indigenous missile system. See the case of Russia, which is having a historical advantage. It took how many years to launch a particular missile system? So it's not that easy to launch the missile system. Okay, you need to do a lot of tests. Anyway, in the year 2007, it has fully inducted into the forces. Now we are purchasing the same type of missile system now. It was sold to China in the year 2014 and Turkey in the year 2017. 14 China and 17 to Turkey. 17 to Turkey. And when India has purchased in the year 2016, there was a summit called BRICS at Goa. And in the year 2016, at BRICS summit at Goa, normally there was a formalization of the talks happened. And in the year 2018, we have signed an agreement. We have signed an agreement. And for how many units we have signed the agreement? For 5 units we have signed the agreement. For 5. The worth of the deal is around $5.3 billion. 5.2 to 5.3. $5.3 billion. This is the worth. And if you translate it into Indian rupees, it comes into around 40,000 crores. It comes into around 40,000 crores. This is the worth of the deal. 40,000 crore is the worth of the deal. 2016, an informal level, but 2018, an agreement. And when we are going to receive, actually the thing is on December 6th, Russian president is visiting India. Prior to that, we have to receive at least 2. Maybe in the next 3 years, we have to receive 1 and 1 and 1 in the next 3 years. And we don't know where they are going to place. And definitely, they will place 1 in the Indo-Pak border and 1 at the Indo-China border. And remaining 3, we don't know where they are going to place. Maybe they will place in the southern India, we don't know, but they don't reveal all these things. But anyhow, so in the year 2016, 2018, and this is the worth of the deal, and 5 units we are going to get. Now, okay, we have purchased it. Now we are going to receive it. Now, what's the problem with this deal? Is there any problem? Yes, there is one problem. And you might aware about that problem. That problem is of CAATSA problem. So what is this CAATSA? Countering American adversaries through Sanctions Act. So I'm not writing here. Countering American adversaries through Sanctions Act. When this act was legislated, you have to be very clear. 2017. Our informal agreement starts in the year 2016. A formal agreement we have written in 2018, but this agreement, this legislation was brought in the year 2017. I'll come to this importance of 2017. But anyhow, what this exactly legislation says? Tell me. So you are not supposed to transact any major, not like any major defense transaction with the 3 countries, Iran, North Korea and Russia. You are not supposed to have any major defense relations. Suppose if you have, then you will be liable to the sanctions of America. Then you will be liable to the sanctions of America. This is what exactly the CAATSA. Now, India is arguing our informal agreements have already started in the year 2016. So your 2017 legislation not applicable. America says that your formal agreement is signed in the year 2018. So it is applicable. So that is what the importance of this 2007. That's what all negotiations. Generally, we used to say no negotiations. But anyhow, there was a question asked in the last year mains how the diaspora will play an important role in the elections or the policies of foreign countries in the paper 2. So now some reports are saying that now the Indian diaspora is so strong to lobby with the American system so that we can get the favor to this S-400 missile system. To some extent, we are doing that. And moreover, India, I think according to the reports, India is to some extent succeeded in convincing the America because America knows the track history of India. How we can do, and because if you looking into our own defense procurements, earlier we were used to depending on Russia or USSR to the extent of 70% and more than 70%. Now we have successfully brought it down to up to 45 to 50%. Now our dependence on America, our dependence on Israel, our dependence on France is increasing. Earlier it was only completely on Russia. But the point is, we are always committed to whatever we deliver, but this is the requirement of the day. We are not something like we are militarily aligning with the Russia or we are militarily aligning with the America, but our requirements are such that we wanted to procure it from the different countries based on our requirement. But our point is, we don't want to be completely militarily aligned with any of the force. If it requires, we will go to any other country because it is our requirement. That is how our policy is. But anyhow, the discussions are going on and we are in a comfortable position. Maybe that is the reason why we are even ready to receive the S-400 missile system from the Russia. But there is a provision in the CAATSA. If the president desires, if the president of this is America's act, this is not United Nations Act, this is America's act. Suppose if the president of America desires, he can do that waiver. That power is given to the president, but not to the Parliament of United States of America. So if the president desires, he can relax whatever the sanctions. Now we wanted America to exercise that presidential power in India. We are not against this legislation. Let you have a legislation, you can. But whatever the relaxing power is there, you please exercise in case of India. That is what our demand is. That is what our demand is. And already the China is under complete sanction of CAATSA. And after 2017 procurement by the Turkey, now the Turkey is also under sanction. Turkey is also under the sanction. And this Turkey story is something different. Now I cannot explain in this class how the relations of Turkey and America has distanced, or how they are becoming so bad. Because earlier there was a concept called Kurdish militants. They present in between the Turkey and Iraq and Syria. This is a tri-junction border, Turkey, Iraq and Syria. In this border we have the Kurdish militants. And when we are fighting against the ISIS terrorists, this Kurdish has helped. But initially when we are fighting against the ISIS, Turkey and America are close allies. But once the ISIS has eliminated, now the time has come to take an action on this Kurdish people. America want to support this Kurdish people, but Turkey seems this Kurdish people as a terrorist. There the differences has come. Now then Turkey has started tilting towards the Russia. Now America is actively supporting the Kurdish people. That is how the gap has come. Then when when Turkey has completely moved towards the Russia, it started supporting Iran. In that process, the relations between Turkey and Russia has become so close, and then they are ready to purchase all these systems. Because America is not accepting our proposals as far as the Kurdish people are concerned. Because Turkey is seeing these Kurdish people as the terrorists. But America wanted Turkey must give some sort of territory to these Kurdish people. So that is how the relations has become so bad. And later America said, I don't give all these F-30, F-16 systems to you. Then Turkey said, even if you don't give, we don't bother, because we have already brought S-400 missile system. Okay, now we are going to receive, but once we receive, definitely it will strengthen our India's defense system. It will strengthen India's defense system. But don't argue that why we are spending 40,000 crore or 50,000 crore or 1 lakh crore on this defense, because whether we agree or not, whether you like it or not, every country has pushed into that war game. Now we need to defend ourselves. And at one point of time, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has said, why you are spending this much amount of money on these defense sources? Simply he give an answer. If you really looking into the history of India, India's history is a history of invasions. If you looking into from the Kushans, from the Shakas, from the Scythians, Indo-Greeks, you might have studied. From then to 1947. And did it really stop on 1947? No, in 1962 there was an aggression. In 1947 itself there was an aggression. In 1965 there was an aggression. In 1999 there was an aggression. So India's history is a history of invasion. Until and unless we protect our borders, we cannot protect our sovereignty. So definitely we need to have that system. And the post the Second World War, the dynamics of the world has changed. Every country is protecting itself with its own different layers. That means multi-layer defense system, and we have unfortunately pushed into that. Now we need to protect ourselves, and until and unless our borders are safe, we cannot grow or we cannot prosper. So this logic you must keep it in mind. Whenever someone asks, you must to counter it. Otherwise you simply say, no, there is a poverty, there is a unemployment. Yes, I do agree that there is a poverty and there is an unemployment, but you cannot compare both poverty and defense. You must give equal importance to both the things. Okay. So did anything I missed? No, I think I have covered almost every point. And one more thing, this actually Russia call it as S-400 Triumph missile system, but whereas NATO call it as SA-21 Growler, Growler. This is the NATO name, Growler. It's an air defense system. And who use this? Indian Air Force use this. This S-400 system in India, who will operate? It's not Army, it's not AV, it's Air Force. It's Air Force operates it. So did you understand the history and importance of this S-400 missile system? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Second question. So how it is different from your BrahMos? I'll tell you. See, the BrahMos missile system, what is the range of BrahMos? Any idea? 299. See, whenever this figure comes, you have to be very careful. Why it is 299? Why not it is 300? And what is the importance of that? Earlier, there was an imposition under MTCR. I think, are you aware? MTCR, NSG, Wassenaar Agreement, Australian Group. You have to read these 4 agreements. Okay. Now, except NSG, I'll write for your sake because some people are NSG, MTCR, Wassenaar Group, Australian Group. Please read these 4. Now, India has become member of all these 3 except NSG because China is not allowing us to enter. But anyhow, I'm not getting into the details of all that, but I'm only dealing with MTCR, Missile Technology Control Regime, MTCR, Missile Technology Control Regime. Under this, if any missile or if any unmanned air vehicle or if any launching system, if it is having a range of more than 300 kilometers, that technology should not be transferred to the countries which are not members of MTCR. The existing MTCR group is having some countries. There is a non-MTCR member country. And this MTCR member country should not transfer the technology of an unmanned air vehicle or any missile technology or any launch vehicle if their range is beyond 300 kilometers. That means less than 300 kilometer range technology you can transfer, but more than 300 kilometer technology you are not supposed to transfer. But later India has become the member of MTCR in the year 2016. But the technology of BrahMos, so river Brahmaputra and rivers Moskova, both Russia and Indian technology. So that is the reason why it is less than 300. No, that is why Russia has comfortably transferred the technology. Now we have developed the BrahMos. Now the range is 299 kilometers. Now, once we have become the MTCR, we wanted to extend it up to 400 kilometers. Maybe we will test in a, maybe soon we will test, but the existing is 299 kilometers. Now, if it is 299 kilometers, how it different from the S400? I'll tell you. From where you will launch this 299, sorry, from where you will launch this BrahMos, because BrahMos is having 3 variants: land, naval, and air. Naval, land, air. And it is a surface to air. It is a surface to air. It is a cruise missile. It's a cruise missile. It's a cruise missile. Now what happened is whenever you are using from the land, it is only surface to surface. Whenever you are using Navy, it's surface to surface. Whenever you are using, it's air to air. But the point is, when you want to hit the target, if you want to hit the air target with the BrahMos, then you have to carry the missile in an air. You have to carry the missile in an air. And if you really want to hit a target of 299 kilometers from the air, the missile system has to be heavy. But from where you are launching this missile? From the warplane you are launching. But what is the size of your warplane? What is the capacity of your warplane? Does your warplane is having a capacity to sustain such an amount of thrust? It's very difficult. Though it is having a range, but you cannot launch it because you need a definite launcher. Unfortunately, that launcher is in the air, that too your whatever the normal your normal aircrafts. So they cannot be used for launching such a high amount. For a shorter range, we can. I hope you understood. So that is why you need a different launching system.
Amrita IAS Academy.